Hello, hello. I hope you have had a wonderful new day. I just wanted to come on and talk to you because I'm just so excited. First of all, I'm excited that you're watching, so thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me know where you're watching from. And I just want to share a little bit of where God has me um, in studying the book of Joshua and just studying the journey to getting the promises that God has for us. And he has me dividing it into chapters. There's the Egypt chapter where we're in bondage. You can relate to that. And then there's the wilderness, and there's certainly a lot of traps related to the wilderness. Then there's change of leadership from Moses to Joshua. And then there's Canaan. There's going into Canaan. And then there's 7 years of battle that Joshua goes through in Canaan. I don't know about you, but I didn't grow up where they talked a lot about the 7 years of battle in Canaan. The stories that I remember the most are about Jericho and on that seventh time, on the seventh day, shouting. Those are the stories I heard, right? But I've been doing a really in-depth study, and this is what I want to offer to you. What if you are at year 6 and day 360? Meaning that you only have a few days left before you complete your battle in Canaan to be able to have all that your heart desires. I just want you to let that sink in for a minute. What if all of your years of wondering and wandering are about to be over? I thought about this because last night my husband and I were putting up our Christmas tree, and I am a big kid when it comes to Christmas time. You can see with the hat. And I couldn't help but go back in time and think about how I almost stopped looking for love, or I should say I stopped looking, but I should say stop making myself available. Meaning I had gotten to this cycle of going to church, going to work out, coming home, going to work out, coming home, just basically discouraged because I had tried online dating. And sometimes I would get great traction, or at least I thought I would, have a great connection with someone, and then I'd call them and they would ignore my calls. Or I'd go out with them and, I've been stood up at a restaurant before. But the point is I had repeated failures. And I don't know about you. I don't know if you've ever waited for something for so long that it almost hurts to still believe. Because that belief means that you have to come face to face with God still saying not yet. And that's the place I was in. And I was there until one morning. I'll never forget, one morning I read about this beautiful love story online. I was on Facebook like I am now early in the morning, and Essence magazine had posted this beautiful story. You know how you can just look at a couple and they just ooze love? And that's the way this couple, they were just looking at each other. You could just tell. You know how you can tell when people are faking it for the camera? This couple was not. I mean, the way they looked at each other. And so I read their story, and they had met online. And so I thought to myself, it was 4 a.m., what if I went back online? And so I went back online. This was June, or maybe it was July 2013. And that day, I met my now husband. I want to share that with you because had I not moved on that day, when I heard from God and just saw that picture, I would have missed him. The reason I know that is because now I know that he was going online that same day to take his profile down. He was in a similar situation in terms of his heart as I. He was at a place where, you know what, I'm just going to work on church, work on myself, go to work out, go to work, and come home because this dating thing, maybe God just doesn't have love in the cards for me. He was going to get off. And then he saw my picture. And the rest is history, as they say. So I'm sharing that story with you because what if that's the same for you? What if everything you want is on the other side of you deciding to fight one more time? What if all of these years of trying and it not working out, whatever your situation is, maybe it's not a relationship, maybe it's your weight, maybe you've gone round and around with your weight and you're like, Cledra, I've tried so many times. Maybe it's that business that you want to start and you've started, but you got discouraged because maybe you didn't feel like you had the support and so you quit. Or maybe it's you got excited about life and then things you never imagined would happen. Whatever your thing is that you're like, you know what, Lord, I've been believing for it so long it hurts to believe it. I want you to hold on to that thing and I want you to imagine that you're just right there. You're right there on the edge of you taking all of Canaan. And in that, you have the promises that God has just for your life. And that you've been thinking that you're waiting on God when the reality is God is waiting on you. But in order to do all of this, just like in order for me to get back online that morning, I had to be willing to put my past behind me. I had to be willing to believe again, in spite of the failures. I had to be willing to think that, you know what, just maybe this will be the time. And in order to create space like that, you have to cleanse. You have to cleanse the past. You have to cleanse some people. You have to cleanse some thoughts. I've been making videos about my upcoming class to cleanse a lot. And I promise you, this is going to be the last one. It's going to be the last one because I'm cleansing in advance so that when I do coach on Wednesday night, just in 2 nights, that I'm over ready for you. But God has me moving on, and I'm not going to continue to talk about cleansing. In fact, like I said, this will be the last one. This will also be the last time that I offer it at $20.16. Why am I doing that? Because I want it to be symbolic for you to pay for 2016 for the last time. After Wednesday, the class will be $77. Why? Because I also think it's symbolic that you get that there's a high price for not moving when you sense that it's time to move. And if this speaks to you, then it's time for you to move. If it doesn't, then I hope the story encourages you. It's okay either way. I know that my job is to show up with what God has placed in my heart. And the people who are supposed to hear it will hear it the way they need to hear it, and they will move. And the people who won't, well, you guys have probably already tuned out, and I wish you well as also. It's about obedience for whatever God has for you. So I hope to see you in the class. All you have to do, I'm going to put the link below. And if not, I hope to hear your testimonies about how you have decided to press your way to get back up and to create space for all that God has for you. To believe again. I mean, believe with confidence that you know, like you know, like you know. And to have such a knowing that you don't have to ask anyone. You know from the inside out. So I hope you have a wonderful night. And I am so excited that you're here. And let me know your thoughts about this video. I'm making these for you. Let me know how I can serve you and support you. And I will talk to you later. Okay? Bye.